All right, welcome back, y'all. We back with another episode of the Jesus Juke Ep.2. We took a week off. We'll get into that a little later about why. But appreciate y'all that turned out more views on YouTube than I expected, more listens than I expected. Appreciate everyone listening and supporting. I do have a quick request. If you are supporting while you're there, if you're on YouTube, please do just like the video. And comment on it just to give it some boost in the algorithm, and also so that we can see who's tapping in with us. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever, go ahead and rate the podcast. You know what I'm saying? In the words of Bomani Jones, the greatest. Well, let me not say the greatest, but the great Bomani Jones. If you don't give us 5 stars, we're inclined to believe that you're a hater. Sorry if I sound a little different today. My microphone got lost. I'm moving. So until I find it, I'll be rocking the headset microphone. And who knows, since I wasn't really treating the audio beforehand, it might sound even better. But we'll get into that. We'll get into this episode now. We'll start off with a little object lesson after this introduction.
Right. Yeah. Say I'm from Virginia where my son is buried. If I ever leave, bury him in Inglewood Cemetery. I'ma do things that's legendary. Got some really big things on the itinerary. Boy, that's why I'm cooking up, that's culinary. Gotta get it done by any means necessary. I'ma state my case even if it's preliminary. I gotta shake the way we can't survive a commissary. Jenny Craig, cause my thoughts are heavy. Got Planet Fitness as a witness cause we working daily. I gotta tell Sally, hold on, I'm still working, baby. I know it's God's grace to bless you with that kind of lady. I know it's God's grace to bless us with.
So Myles.
Yes, sir.
Your object today is a basketball court.
A basketball court. I'm gonna do something slightly. Does it have to be specifically the basketball court, or can I do something basketball like court adjacent?
I'll let her rock. We'll see. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We'll let it rock.
All right. So the NBA Finals was a week, 2 weeks ago now? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Just about.
And you know what I'm saying? When you get into the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, the rotation shortens. You got 15-man roster, but only 7, maybe 8 people will play.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an interesting thing about being on a basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors won the chip, but everybody gets a ring. Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, you know what I'm saying? He balled out. He got himself the finals MVP.
Finally.
James Wiseman sat the bench,
Mm-hmm.
took a roster spot, didn't play, not a game.
That's true.
And James Wiseman is an NBA champion. He gets a ring. What I'm trying to get these people to understand is that when you are on God's team,
okay. Hey, I'm feeling it.
You don't have to be the main. You don't have to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, they tried to cast out the demon, and they said, "Jesus, I know. Paul, I know. Who are you?" Sometimes you are not that guy.
Okay, you're not that guy, huh?
Sometimes you're not that guy. Yeah, sometimes you're not that guy. But at the end of the day, when Jesus died on the cross and defeated, you know what I'm saying, defeated death, hell, sin, and the grave, he got back up again. He's at the right hand of the Father. He's got the ring. True. Jesus is the MVP, and I'm on his team, so I got a ring. I ain't have to do none of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't have to do nothing. I accepted the free gift. Jesus said, "Do you want a roster spot?" And I said, yes.
Yes.
I said yes.
Huh? Absolutely.
I'm on the team. So you know what I'm saying? We got victory in Christ. Okay.
That's what's
Jesus
up.
the MVP, and we all got a ring if you win Christ.
Yes, sir. Nah, I'm with it.
There we go. I hope that encourages you on today.
Yeah, I feel encouraged. You know what I mean?
That's
I don't know
good.
if the people feel encouraged, but I feel encouraged.
I hope the people will feel encouraged. That, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be that guy sometimes. Jesus did that. He paid it all. He paid it all.
I'm not even Kevon Looney. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even Kevon Looney. I need all of that. Yes, sir. Like Patrick McCaw in 2018. That's what I am. Hey, that's a word.
There we go. There we go. Yes, sir.
So we got a couple things scheduled. Just talk about it. Let's see where the conversation goes. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? First things first. A lot of things happened in the United States as a country, and we're not gonna talk about them. We're not gonna talk about Ruby Wade. No. We're not gonna talk about any of that. No. You know what I'm saying?
That's hands off. That's hands off.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone has already talked about that enough. Everyone knows where a lot of people stand. I would take it from the words of Jackie Hill Perry. She posted something like this on Instagram. It's not going to be verbatim, but she said, sometimes we need to keep our words at home, where we can have actual nuanced discussions instead of making caricatures out of other people and feeling like we need to make an extreme version of our own views. Sometimes we need to keep our words at home. So that's what we're finna do. We're finna keep our words at home.
That's good.
But another news, I mentioned it at the top of the episode. We didn't have an episode last week, very noticeably.
We were not there.
That's because last week I was in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Cheekwood Botanical Gardens, proposing to my girlfriend of 2 years and 7 months, now officially my ex, Heather Huff. You know what I'm saying?
Officially your ex.
Officially my ex. You know what I'm saying? Soon to be wife.
Crazy.
Heather Huff. I hope she's not too mad that I said that. But you know what? It's all right. And this episode finna come out on time. This episode's, you know what I'm saying? I generally schedule them for Thursday. This one's gonna come out on time. We're recording on a Sunday, so you know what I mean, we got turnaround time. But you know what I'm saying? I mentioned it while I was saying the mic thing. I'm moving too. It's a lot going on. If you listen to this and you listen to the Forum Follows Theology stuff that I do, I'm sorry that it's probably not gonna come out on Monday. I might record and do something the same day, in which case this whole section won't matter, but it's a lot going on right now. You know what I'm saying? So bear with me. You know what I mean? I ask for grace. You know what I'm saying?
Give grace. We do give grace.
You know what I'm saying? But you know who's not asking for grace?
Who's not asking for grace?
Elon Musk. Many of y'all know that Elon Musk is the, you know what I'm saying, the owner of PayPal. Owner, not founder of Tesla. People forget that. Erasure. Owner, I think founder of SpaceX. You know what I mean? He's doing a whole bunch of stuff. The entrepreneurship boys love him. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I don't know if we can love him like that no more. Let me not say we, because I don't really care about that man. But this man went on Twitter and said something real weird. He said something real weird. I might show the tweet up on this joint. But
what did he say? Let me
actually. You're right. Let me actually go try to find this man's tweet. But he said something real weird that sounded like he was like dying, or like felt like he was gonna die soon. It was some real weird. I only tweet this because I'm rich and bored. That's the feel of it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. He said rich and bored.
You know what I'm saying? This man be tweeting, bro.
He got a lot of tweets?
This man got mad tweets. This man got mad tweets, bro. He said, this man annoying me, bro. Anyway, listen, bro. I'm not gonna spend all this time. He said something weird, and presumably a fan of his talked about him and said, like Elon, like you're one of the most unique figures in history. Which, first of all, the dude who commented on his Twitter post, did like a slash and said like you are / like were one of the most unique people that ever lived, and it's like he's not dead. Like my man's is still tweeting. But he said this dude, he basically gives this like gives him this compliment and then like implores him like, I hope that somewhere later in your life you cry out to God and like get saved. You know what I mean? At some point in your life. Heartfelt type message. I'm sure the dude just really wants, really wants this dude that he enjoys to not, go to hell. Whatever religion he was, I don't know. Or whatever his version of the bad place is. And this man, Elon, hits him back and says like, I've become content with the idea of going to hell. And guess why he said he's content? Guess why he said he's content going to hell?
Why would he say that he is content going to hell?
He said I'm content going to hell because that's where the vast majority of human beings in history are and like will be. That is some nut stuff.
Yeah.
That is some nut stuff. Yeah. I feel like I heard that and I felt like the like parent in me rise up of like, oh, so everyone going to hell, so you just gonna go to hell? Like, you just gonna go to hell too? You know what I'm saying?
I said, that's not the bridge you want to jump off of, my boy.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, bro, it's not the bridge you want to jump off of, bro. It's levels to these things. And I was like, I heard that. I was like, bro, I feel like, listen, I'm not much of a fire and brimstone type dude. I'm not really like a huge fan of that. But low key, like, I feel like people not scared of the idea of hell anymore. Like, I feel like people think that when we say hell, we just mean a place that's like a little hotter than you're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, oh, we just gonna be down there doing all types of debauchery. We're gonna be out there partying, but it's just gonna be a little hot. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, like that's really a wild statement. That's really a real. Like, when you really think about it, my man said, "I'm okay going to hell because there's more people." First of all,
yes,
go to prison. They're overcrowded. You
know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like go to prison. Come on, bro. When has more people ever been a reason to go somewhere?
Don't ask me that. I am very crowds averse.
For good reason.
You know I do not go. I don't mess with crowds like that.
What the Bible say, that God wrote the law on the hearts and minds of man. We don't like crowded places because hell is crowded. You know what I'm saying? What did Jesus say? Wide is the gate.
Is the gate
path that goes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But narrow is the path that leads to life. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And he said, many will find the path that is wide and few will find the path that is narrow. You know what I'm saying? I think people, they're just going off of what you just said about them having the wrong idea of like what's going down in hell. The Bible say that is a place of weeping and gnashing of teeth. That don't sound like a party to me, bro.
No. I still don't know what gnashing of teeth is. I feel like I've looked it up like 7 times and I forget every single time. Every single time. It just sounds good.
I don't know. I don't know what gnashing of teeth is either, but it don't feel pleasant. It don't sound pleasant.
Nah.
It does not sound pleasant. You know what I'm saying? They give you retainers to stop you from grinding your teeth at night. You know what they gonna? Facts. What is gnashing of teeth gonna do?
Facts.
I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, bro. That got me thinking though. That got me thinking while I was doing it. So I was I don't remember what the view is actually called. I just remember like stumbling across it and like doing all these things. But tell me if you've heard of. There's like a. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much you would consider this. Like I think that you can hold like an orthodox position, like a historically orthodox position, and like still believe this. Of like I was reading and these things were saying that, like people in the early church. There were some people in the early church that believe that like. That believe that like if when you die, like so if you're a Christian, when you die, then like you go on to live eternally with God and new creation, right? Mm-hmm. But they were like, if you die and you don't believe in God, then like you just cease to exist. Like you just cease to exist. And like I feel like that's a very interesting thing because I think it puts a lot of emphasis on I feel like that's a position that you can only get by having like a really high value of God's presence. Because to say that like, oh, to cease to exist and like miss out on being in God's presence forever is hell. Even though I feel like if you ask the average person, like even if you caught me on like a regular day and you're like, if you died and you just ceased to exist, I'd be like, oh, like I guess like I wouldn't know, like I wouldn't know it, you know what I mean? So I guess that's okay. Like
he said I haven't tried dying before to find out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I was wondering. I was like, dang, like there's so many like wild views. There's people who listen. I'm gonna be honest. This is a topic for another time, but there's people that believe that like, so like conceptually, to like break it down like lay terms, that like heaven is to be present with God. Like that is what heaven is, which would mean that hell is to be separated from God. And you know how we talk about these things of like, oh, you know, like you get to experience a little bit of heaven, you bring a little bit of heaven down to earth because, you know what I'm saying, God is doing in you and you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to do all these things, right? They're saying that like, oh, you know, people who don't believe in God and doing all these different things are experiencing a form of hell. Like you would experience a form of hell that's like incomplete. That's like incomplete because like God still sustains creation in some way, but like it's this weird thing of being like hell might not be of like I'm not doing a good job explaining this, but it's like hell it might not be like a physical place, but it's like a lived reality that people will experience forever of like being completely separated, like God completely removing his presence from them.
It's sort of like a state of being, you think?
Yeah. Which is very interesting. It's very interesting. I was like, people got a lot of time on their hands to be thinking about these things.
For sure. I don't know. It could be both a place and a state of being. I'm kind of thinking right now about I don't know if this is necessarily tied to this. I'm thinking about right now the story about the poor man and the rich man. What was his
There's a few of those.
There are a few. was there a poor man named Lazarus as well, where he in life he sat at the rich man's table and like asked the rich man for crumbs, but like the rich man would never give him any food, and they like both died. And is that Lazarus as well?
It might be.
Like
I do believe that there are multiple Lazaruses. Well,
I don't want to get the wrong name, but the crux of the story is that there's a poor man. There's a poor man who he would beg for the scraps off the rich man's table, and you know the rich man would always treat him terribly in life, and then they both died. The poor man went to heaven, and the rich man went to hell. And I guess the reason I kind of like thought about this was because, or thought about it being more so like a place to tie it into this conversation, is because when the rich man was in hell, he asked, I don't remember who he saw
or something like that, right?
He was like, he's like asking for like some, like, he asked for like a drop of water, and he like asked to like go back to a seat. He asked to like, can you send him to go back to my brothers to tell them that this is like a real place, and to like switch their life up so that they don't ever have to come here. So I don't know. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I think that hell really could, like, it could be a place. Like it, you know what I'm saying? It could be a place, it could be a state, it could be both. It's like well, I can tell you this. Well, if you're talking about being eternal separation from God, God is not there. So it is a state of being in that sense. You are separated from God for eternity.
That's true.
But yeah,
that's it. The place begets the state in a sense. If you're really good at root, that's true. No. There's compelling, you know what I'm saying? Compelling evidence and conversation on either side, for real. But you know what I'm saying?
But like kind of going back to what Elon Musk said, that he said most of the people in history are there. Like on its face, like this is just like a crazy statement that he said. But I'm kind of like, but I haven't read the tweet, but hearing you say that, and he said like that's where most of the people in history are, I'm like, isn't that kind of like sad? Like it kind of like made me stop and pause for a second and be like, dang, like I don't think about this often, but like kind of statistically that's true. And that's really like heartbreaking to think about. There's what, like 7-8 billion people on Earth, and maybe 2 billion people are Christians, give or take. Probably take.
Probably take. Yeah.
That's a depressing amount of people that are spending eternity away from God, for real.
No, for real. Which is like, it's one of those things where it's like over the period of history, both past, now, and then like after we're gone, like it's gonna be like an uncountable number essentially, but like it's still less. It's still like significantly less than the people who didn't believe. You know what I'm saying? Which is,
it's crazy.
Pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy to think about, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people don't care because they don't. In this case, listen. I don't think people should be scared into like being a Christian or any religion. You know what I'm saying? If people are like, right. I'm scared of going to hell and all these different things. Like, I guess it's kind of good if you're scared to go to hell. Like, you don't want to go to hell, but that's not the point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not the ultimate point anyway. But like, I don't know, some of these consequences, people might need to be a little more, you know what I'm saying? People might need to hear it a little more. Know that they're there.
But I think also, I think it's kind of harder for people to like get the message right now, at least in America, get the message because of the spirituality wave, where people will be like, oh, like I'm spiritual, so like I communicate with God in my own way. I don't know how. I don't know if it's gonna be like a thing anymore, where like you go and you talk to somebody in the United States and they'll be like, no, I've never heard the name of Jesus. I don't know if that's like a thing right now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because I feel like, I feel like right now everybody's kind of, you know, at least I won't say everybody, but like it's kind of like a wave where everyone's like, oh, I've got my own like sense of spirituality. Like I don't need the church. I don't need a book to tell me, like God is, he's all around, he's in me, you know what I'm saying? Like I can communicate with God by myself. And it's like, look, there's only one way to the Father.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And like you got a lot of people who I think, they probably genuinely think that they are trying their best to follow God, and they are not doing so. They are not doing so.
Close. But it's getting into things of like, it's like, maybe in the United States it's a little different because, you know what I'm saying, like, this is what, like 350 million people in the United States, give or take.
Something around there, yeah.
And like 200 of them, like 200 million of them almost, profess some form of Christianity. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, I guess there's not really a reason for most people to say like they don't, believe in, like they've never heard. But like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, like people, like they really be trying, but it's hard for me to be like, it's hard for me to like really think about sometimes being like, yeah, like people are really trying, but like it's in the wrong place. So it's not like, it's like helping you in like a physical sense, even like I would say like you are feeling connected to like the spiritual side of you, because I do think that we have that kind of side, like that immaterial side to us, but like it's not good though. Like you feel good because you're in tune with that side of yourself, or like you're connecting to that or whatever, but like it's not good though.
Right.
It's kind of, it is hard though, you know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely its shift. I feel like when I was in like middle school, high school, there was a lot of like walk up to people on the street and ask them if they know the 10 Commandments. And if you tell them that they broke one commandment, then you got to quote the verse that's like, if you've broken one commandment, then you've broken all of the commandments. And you got to tell them that they're not a good person and that they need God. And then you got to pray the sinner's prayer and all that stuff. But it's like, most people now, it's like, you talk to them and like they're thinking about these things, because honestly, like people, there's not a single human being on this planet who has never once considered like, what is my place and point of being here? You know what I mean? And like people here are thinking about these things, and they're very, you know what I'm saying, open to like a ton of different things. And so it's hard to be like, oh, Jesus. And then it's like, oh, like, yeah, he's out there, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I'll say the exposed example of Christians is pretty rough. I am starting to push back, like I am starting to push back a little, like publicly, on like this idea that like, oh, like Christians in general and Christianity in general is like fake. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like is a barrier of entry sometimes when talking about it with people. It's like, no, like there's pastors who do heinous things. And then there's people who cover up those heinous things, which is a heinous thing in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in agreement there, but like the vast majority of churches that exist are like small local bodies that are like struggling to survive, and they just want to like serve their community and worship together on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm starting to push back on this idea of like, oh, Christianity this, Christianity that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Especially when it's like, you know, I mean, we heard this verse today at Hill City. That's the church I go to. And then my man's quoted from James, and man, it's a banger. You know what I'm saying? I think it's James 1. Of like, you know, he's like true religion, true and unblemished religion is to care for the widow and take care of the orphan, and like to me, it's like that's the real measuring stick. It's not all this freaking bombastic nonsense that you see in the news. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, I feel like all those different kind of factors is why people you take a concept that's like central but not really talked about that much anymore, like hell, and like just don't take it very seriously anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take it. Don't consider what it would mean if that is actually true. It's just kind of like, well, there's a whole bunch of different stuff out there, and I choose not to believe that. Which I can't fault them per se, but it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough indeed. It's tough indeed.
Body bands. It's that you when I lie doing donuts with your friends. Is that you mix the coke in a hand? It's that you putting dro in a win. Is that you trying to get your hands on the cashews? Cause you know cash rules things around me. Is that you with the hoop dreams but no D1 offers thinking how you gotta make it overseas?
Hey, I see my man White Dante got traded. My man White Dante, he was on the move, weren't he? Is he on the Kings now? Was that him? No, that's Kevin Herter.
He signed to the Warriors.
That's right. My man White Dante about to get a chip next year, probably.
You think the Warriors are getting a chip next year? I really don't believe they are.
No, I just said that, but I just said that. I don't know who's about to win a chip. Probably, yeah, I would say.
It's pretty open.
Yeah. The Suns are done. I think their window's closed. They got their heart ripped out. They got their heart ripped out. Like they can. Let's not talk about that. No, Kevin Durant's wild, bro. Like, you built this, kinda, and now you want to leave. I just think it's interesting that he waited. It's just crazy that he waited right until Kyrie signed the extension and then was like, or not the extension, the opt-in, and he's like, all right, let's go.
It's because he opted in, though. Like he was pushing for Kyrie to get an extension so that they could like play together long term. And Kyrie obviously was like asking for a max.
He said play together long term. You don't play short term.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. But like next like this last year they were all healthy. It was the COVID stuff, and those restrictions aren't gonna be there next year. So first of all, I think Brooklyn is stupid, honestly. But like
for sure. I would have just been like, yeah, KD, we're not trading you. Sorry.
Yeah, but the thing is, you said what?
I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Not hoop? You got 4 years on your deal. We're not trading you.
No, for real, they didn't have to. But I think.
You think what?
That man. So Joe Tsai, the Brooklyn Nets owner, like someone quoted him on Twitter and was like, he said that he would rather have a bunch of guys who are less talented but play hard and want to win than have a team that's like super talented but they don't want to win and they don't want to play hard and stuff.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Shout out to KD. I feel like I've seen that quote attributed to like 3 different people.
No, who? I don't know who. I think I first heard that on 2K11 for the first time. That Stephen A. Smith starts like if you like are sitting there on the menus and not doing nothing, he just starts talking at you.
Oh,
he's like, well, he'd be like, well, since you don't want to hoop, let me get some knowledge on you then. All right, calm down, bro. I'm talking to my mom.
Yeah, facts. You said, no, you're right. I don't want to clank a good release shot for the 11th time and get 40 dropped on me by freaking, you know what I'm saying? That's some random computer.
The freaking 2K11 AI is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Facts.
Like, but shout out to 2K11. It's still the best 2K ever made, though. On me.
Well, debatable, but we'll take it.
It's debatable, but there's a lot of people that agree.
It's true. There are a lot of people that agree, but you know what I'm saying? Don't be like Elon and go with the crowd.
I'm not. That was an original thought that I had, and then I went and found other people that confirmed my theory.
So a little confirmation bias helps the opinions go down. So, listen. Okay, so on this KD front, right? So we've been talking about it. So this man asked for a trade, and they're saying the reason that he asked for a trade is because he was pushing for Kyrie to get this extension. They don't give him an extension, so he has to opt into his player option, obviously. And so he's like, man, this is how you treating us, the players, the superstars. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. Get me out of here. So it's a mutual breakup going on there. But Brian Windhorst, I don't know if you know this, has been an absolute tear. Has been on an absolute tear predicting stuff. And one of the things that he talked about early on, and I want to run this by you because the people need to know, both of us are Bron stans, avid Bron stans, which means by association, we want the Lakers to succeed. I'm going to run a few things by you, and I want to get your reaction on them. So Kyrie really wants to go to the Lakers. So the first thing I would run by you is, there was a reported cease of talk for a little bit between the Lakers and the Nets at first because Rob Pelinka didn't want to trade Talen Horton-Tucker in a potential deal involving getting KD and Kyrie. How does that make you feel?
THT. Oh, that's hilarious. I would say that he's a very movable asset. Rob, you know what I'm saying? If they want THT and you want KD, you giving up THT. I don't see why that would be a hindrance necessarily in your trade talks.
So if their name is Bron, if their name is not Bron or Anthony Davis, they are free to go.
Facts. There's a lot of people though that have been talking about Russ and AD for Kyrie and KD. And I don't know. I don't know about that one. Like, obviously, I think the Lakers can stand to have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, right? If you're talking about purely like basketball talent and everything,
yeah, for sure.
That's it. That's like a no-brainer deal for the Lakers. But here's my thing though. I think that if me personally, I'm kind of off Kyrie right now. And it's because of like the off-court stuff in the sense of like he doesn't, I'm not gonna say he doesn't want to play, but like he don't play the games. That
he don't care if you don't play.
It's that, and he a little bit wishy-washy on the things he wants. You know what I'm saying? In Cleveland, right after they lost the chip in 2017 or 2017, one of those years.
2017.
Right after they lost the chip, he was like, look, like Braun's a great dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got crazy work ethic. I'm excited to see what we can continue to build and what I can learn from him. And then 6 weeks later, he asked for the trade and said, look, I can get this surgery, and if you don't trade me, I'm getting surgery, and then cites LeBron as one of the reasons he wants to leave, right? Then you fast forward a few more years, he's in Boston, ends the season, I'll stay if y'all have me. What's he do?
We knew that was cap. We knew that was cap.
Gone. And then at the end of this season, and their exit interviews after the playoffs, they're just like, he's like, yeah, like, we're gonna, me and KD, we're going to continue to see what we can build with this Nets organization. And then, he said, get me out of here as soon as possible.
This one is the Nets' fault. I'm going to stop you there. This one is the Nets' fault because Kyrie said, just give me max money on a multi-year deal. And they said no.
But if I'm them, I wouldn't give him max money on a multi-year deal either.
You wouldn't give Kyrie Irving max money on a multi-year deal?
Because he's not playing.
He is playing. The thing that was keeping him out, the thing that was keeping him out last season is gone. Like, there's no more restrictions.
How many games has Kyrie Irving played per season in the last few years? Like, aside from the COVID, like, aside from the COVID stuff, like, I'm not, saying that's fair. I won't hold that against him because he chose not to get vaccinated. I'm not going to hold that against him. But aside from that, dealing with injuries and just other general things, what number of games has he played per year aside from that? I don't know. I'm asking that genuinely.
He played a decent number his first year there, but after that, I'm not sure.
Hold on. Let me look that up. Let me do some Googles real quick.
Because this is what I'm saying, right? For me, the injuries and stuff is what I'm not holding against him. Injuries and stuff, you build injury protections into your contract. But injuries, I'm not holding that against him. I am holding the vaccination against him. I am holding that. That was your choice to be like, I'm going to be a part-time player. You know what I'm saying? That I will hold against it.
I probably got to go to Basketball Reference. Let's see here.
Shout out to Basketball Reference, bro.
Facts.
Why are you looking that up? I'm going to get you to...
So, let's go. How far back you want to go?
Since his Brooklyn years. Let's just stick with it. Or how many years has he been in Brooklyn even?
2019, 2020. So...
yeah, let's stick with Brooklyn.
So, 20 games, 54 games, and 29 games.
Shoo. Played 29 games his first year there. That's kind of crazy. So,
20 games... That's the 2019-2020 season. Was that the shortened bubble season where they stopped and then came back? Yeah. Did the Nets go to the bubble? I don't think they went to the bubble, did they?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Then the 2020-21, the 2020-2021 season. That's 54 games, and that was what was that a 72 game season?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have this season, the 29 games, which is interesting that he played 54 games. Well, I guess the vaccine wasn't like ubiquitous yet with the 2020-21 season. There was just
that one was just test. Like
get tested. So, yeah. 54 games and a 72 game season. That's actually not bad. It's better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, it's like listen, he gonna miss games. That's facts. He gonna miss games, but it's Kyrie.
It is Kyrie. He's worth max money. I'm not saying he's not worth max money. It's like, it was just more of like do I give him max money? Like, because do I think he'll play? That's all it was. It's not like I'm saying Kyrie Irving is not worth that, because he is. That man's a hooper. And he have a 60-point game season this year?
He probably did.
I think he did.
The man's efficiency is crazy too. Like,
yeah, I'm not saying he's not worth the money. It's just like, are you really here to play the games? I think that's really what it is.
That's fair.
It from the owner's standpoint.
That's fair. All right, let me ask you something else from my owner's standpoint.
I bet we'll be talking about
if Sean Marks, Brooklyn Nets. This is people. I'm the Brooklyn Nets GM, and you're Rob Pelinka, and I say, listen, bro, give me Anthony Davis, your 2029 first round pick, and like some salary filler or some other pieces for Kevin Durant. What are you saying? I just man look like. This man look like that,
bro. Because I'm kind of torn. On the one hand, that's a very good deal. That's a very good deal. And Kevin Durant don't be getting hurt like AD be getting hurt. When Kevin Durant gets hurt, it's because something catastrophic happened. When AD gets hurt, it's because he twisted his ankle and is not playing for another 10 days. And that's just gonna happen about 5 times a season. No shade to AD. He's a hooper when he can play.
Thanks.
But on the other hand, I'm not, the Lakers as currently constructed, I don't know about all their offseason moves, other than I saw they got Juan T. Shout out Juan T.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out Juan T. That's a good, yeah. I'm a fan.
But I watched
Lonnie Walker the fourth. Which
that's good. That's
sorry. It's you. Yeah.
I watched a decent amount of Lakers games last year when I could. I don't play a lot of defense. So now I know some people are going to say defense is slightly overrated, but the Lakers have a habit of they'll get up a little bit and then they will allow teams to come back into the game and they'll blow the lead. So you don't have to have you don't need freaking Celtics defense or Miami Heat defense because them defenses are crazy. They don't need all that. But you know what I'm saying? They can't be having the same defense as the Timberwolves.
the Timberwolves had a very good defense this year.
Did you watch them play the Grizzlies?
Okay, that's a Grizzly. You know what I'm saying? Like the Grizzlies might just pop off on a random night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, sure, but I'm saying they had multiple 20-point leads in the playoffs, and then they just out here blowing 20-point. They ain't finished the game out.
No, that's facts.
That's all I'm saying. But
that's fair.
What the main point is, the Lakers are trash at defense. LeBron's about to be 36, 37.
39.
Yeah, he is not 38. LeBron is not 38. Is he? No, he's 37.
He's real close to that.
I think he's 37. Okay. I think he's 37. I'm pretty sure he's 37. The moral of the story is he's not playing defense right now. He's 37 years old.
He's only doing that jump when he needs to, for sure.
Facts. He is good for about half a chase down block a game, but
he said half a chase down block.
But that's a crazy stat. That's a good stat.
He said he gonna chase him, but it's a foul.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, at least if AD is there, he's a more than decent defender when he's healthy. Outside of that, though, you give him up. I don't know what Kevin Durant does on defense. He's a hooper, though, so I'm not gonna sit here and say that. Like, I mean, like obviously, if you add Kevin Durant to the team, they're hooping. They're hooping. It's LeBron James playing at a high level. It's Kevin Durant playing at a high level. They're gonna be hoopers.
Playing at a Russell Westbrook level.
This is the thing about Russell Westbrook, bro. I need this dude, Russell Westbrook, to understand that he's got a role to play.
For sure. He said, star in your role.
Facts. I understand that you need the ball, right? I get that. You need the ball to do what you're going to do. I also understand that you are a terrible shooter. And I think he understands that as well. Now, I understand, like, people be like, well, he's confident in himself, so he's just going to keep taking the shots. Don't.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Unless you go see my man Lethal Shooter over the summer, I don't want to see you taking shots.
He needs to be. Anthony Davis is working with Lethal Shooter. He needs to sneak into some of them sessions.
Exactly. But my man Russell Westbrook shooting 25% from 3-point line? Don't take those.
Something dookie.
Don't take those. Bro. Just don't take those. Just don't take those.
3-point percentage start with a 2 and you're shooting them on volume.
Just don't take those.
But
okay? You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, for real.
Pick like, we need you to do other things, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you understand that what you're doing isn't working, try something else. Ain't nothing wrong with trying something different, you know what I'm saying? Drive the ball a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Be a distributor a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Drive and kick. They still fear
you saw that man missing all them dunks this year.
They still fear the drive.
Dunks.
I mean, here's the thing. True. If you still fear his drive, then you can be a distributor. You can drive and kick. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to try to dunk it. You ain't got to hammer it home every time. You know what I'm saying? You missed a good amount of layups too. We don't need to get into all that right now. I'm just saying, let's try something different. Let's stay off the 3-point line. Stop doing the bank shots. Okay. You're hitting the top of the backboard, not the top of the square. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to move some things around.
Finisher or a drive and dump to Steve Adams, but he don't have that anymore. You said what?
I'm just saying, just kind of adjust. You're a professional. You know what I'm saying? You're in the league. You're a professional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all agree that you can play the game of basketball. You wouldn't be in the league if you could. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's fair. But somebody's going. Somebody's going for sure. If you can't hoop, somebody will find you out eventually. I mean,
no, you're right. There's levels to it. He can hoop, but that's what I'm saying. So there's rumors, at least as of yesterday, when I checked, there's rumors of the Nets and the Lakers were in talks for a package centered around Russell Westbrook since he's an expiring contract. Obviously with some other assets in there for Kyrie. I'm a fan of that. A Kyrie, AD, and Bron team is very appealing for me. Oh, they're also trying to get Seth Curry in there.
Look, bro. You can forget everything I said about Kyrie Irving in the last 15 years.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, bro?
Because here's the thing. He solves
problems. You still want him, though.
He solves problems.
Efficient shooter, efficient finisher. He can pass.
You get Seth Curry as well, shooting. The Lakers are boo-boo at shooting. You out here having LeBron being almost your leading shooter. And they say he's not. They say that's not his bag, but he doing it. What are you at? 36%, something around there.
People
I don't know.
That's not his bag are crazy. That man is a certified bucket, including on the 3-point line.
All I'm saying is this, bro. If we get Kyrie and Seth Curry, that's a lot of problems addressed in one move.
That's a lot of problems, bro.
Especially the turnover.
Time, you just shorten that roster rotation. Easy.
Especially because here's the thing about Russ too. Aside from it's not just that he's an inefficient shooter, he's demoralizing to have on the court. Mm-hmm. When you are trying to make a comeback, there have been many times the Lakers have tried to come back and he single-handedly killed it. He single-handedly killed it.
Let me do it. Let me try to put the backpack on, and he can.
And it's not just like you can miss a shot, okay? Like we can recover from a missed shot. It's the way you miss a shot. You can't take these shots and hit the top of the backboard. You can't take these shots and airball every other one, and then expect your teammates to still. I remember that joint where my man Frank Vogel benched him that one game. And then he came over to LeBron and AD like, hey, dog, like, I wish I could have been out there. And LeBron looking at him like, dog, we don't want you out there.
Bro, you were really not helping.
He came over, he's like, dog, I wish I could be out there. I wish I could, but it's out of my hands. And it's like, look, dog, we appreciate the sentiment, but it's probably better if you here anyway. Not only are you not making your baskets, you also turning the ball over too. And them turnovers are, very detrimental. He was I believe he was number 2 in turnovers, because he didn't play like the last 2 games, and so Trae Young passed him. So he was going to be number 1, but because he didn't play like the last game or something like that, like Trae Young passed him. But I'm just saying, like, we don't need all that. We don't need all that. You've been in the league long enough to hold on to the ball, my boy. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. So listen, free agency is looking like it might shake out to be pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? As a Sixers fan, it's going pretty well too. But you know what I'm saying? There's a dark and a light to everything, as my man Show Baraka would say. There's gold and shadow and everything. And there's definitely some shadow going on right now. A couple of days ago, Miles Bridges is a free agent. He decided to decline his player option. He decided to decline player option and decline to sign an extension to bet on himself last season, and it worked. He hooped really well, averaged like 20 points a game, like 5 to 7 rebounds, somewhere in there, and seemed like he was just only going to get better as he got older. But a couple of days ago, last week, there was a report came out that he got arrested for domestic abuse, and as soon as that came out, it was like, ooh, like, what's up, my guy, like what's up? When I first saw it, the report read like it was like, oh, he got to a fight or something with someone, so I was like, oh, okay, like, he got into a fight, he's going to serve like a little bit of time and it's going to be whatever. But then I saw it was like, that's domestic abuse. And I was like, dang, like, I didn't know he was even dating anyone. And turns out it's his wife. It's his wife that's involved in it. And she decided to press charges. She's very brave for that, very strong for that. And that man absolutely, you know what I'm saying, had popularity, acceptance, and a bag in the palm of his hand. And then not only did he throw that away, because he definitely fumbled that all and definitely messed that all up. But it confuses me to no end when people do stuff like first of all, I just don't understand domestic abuse in general, like why people do it. But I remember a day or two after the initial like kind of reports came out that he got arrested for it came out, I saw a video of him working out in the gym, like putting up shots and being like getting ready for next season type. And I was like, bro, like, you're not getting a contract. Like, you're not getting a contract, nor should you. Like,
you should not. No. And
what's frustrating is that what it felt like was, oh, depending on the severity of the case, teams were just going to use it as like a bargaining chip to like not give him a max deal or something. That's what it felt like. People were waiting on the details of the case. And when the details of the case came out, posted by his wife herself, it was rough. It's really, really bad. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? For all the people listening, you know what I'm saying? This is an anti-domestic abuse podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Anti-domestic abuse. Feel like we had to mention it and just be like, hey, bro, like, for all the men out there, if you see some stuff that you know should not be going down, even if it's your boy, even if it's your family, you need to do something and you need to say something. Because there's no reason that there's no reason to have people that are doing heinous things like this anywhere near copious amounts of money and power. You know
Absolutely not.
That's what I had to get off my chest. Myles, I don't know if you got anything specific to get off your chest about it.
No, nothing specific. I just to echo what you kind of said, he does not deserve a contract. I don't, he shouldn't be in the league. Probably should go to jail for this, to be honest. What was it like? Yeah. I know at least it was like at least a fractured rib, and then she also had like some facial injuries as well. I didn't see everything, but not only did she call this one in, there had been previous instances before this one that she didn't talk about. I think I didn't see like her complete thing, her complete statement, but I did see that she said like, I'm tired of this happening. I'm tired of him abusing me and traumatizing our children. So he's been doing this multiple times. He's been doing this multiple times, and it just goes to show, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever is done in the dark, it will come to the light, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
And, like, you just hate to see it, for real. You hate to see it. I don't have anything other to say. Like, my man, he can't play. He should not be allowed to play. Should probably go to prison. Definitely should go get some type of treatment, some type of help, anger issues, whatever the case may be. I don't know if he's dealing with anything in particular, but he's got to get some form of help, for real, because it's just unacceptable, for real.
I think he's set to go to. I think he is going to go to trial. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, be brought to justice there, for real.
Mm-hmm.
So last episode, I gave you my rundown on why I believe that Memphis should be the real music city. You know what I'm saying?
You did do that.
And this week, it is currently July 3rd, tomorrow being July 4th, meaning that most people are celebrating, tonight and to varying degrees over the weekend. Been celebrating July 4th. And so here's this thing. I don't remember where it came from or exactly how it started, but there's a kind of idea of like, until all of us are free, none of us are free. You know what I'm saying? And we know that not all of us were free until June 19th, 1865. Which would lead me to believe that Juneteenth is the real Independence Day.
I would say that is a solid conclusion to come to. What's the other name for the 4th of July? What's the other name that they call it? They call it Independence
Day.
And I recognize that we're talking about, independence from the British government or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's kind of interesting to me that, we say we celebrate freedom, we celebrate independence on this day, July 4th, when you had people that were not free, that were not independent. So to me, it feels like, the term Independence Day for the 4th of July is a slight misnomer for the things that people want to, use it for. People are hating on Juneteenth right now. Now, I think part of it is because it fell on Father's Day this year. So
Yeah,
a lot of a lot
tough.
a lot of the comments that I was seeing, they hid behind the no, we celebrate Father's Day and this today or whatever. So,
Okay.
they tried to do that. They tried to do that. But then there were
this
just
is the
some that
second
was
year of it, right?
but then there were just other people that were just blatant with it. They were just like, no, I'm celebrating independence on the real Independence Day. And I'm like, what? You celebrate on the real Independence Day? That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you so
Nice.
when
It said the
Juneteenth was
real
first
Independence Day when we had slaves write the documents.
Look. When they first made Juneteenth a national holiday, I was like, that's cool, I guess. Like, I wasn't like super ecstatic, and I wasn't like they didn't have to do this. I was just like, that's cool. I think that it's important that you know what I'm saying, that we as a nation and as a people acknowledge the history that we came from. People want to try to move forward, and they always say like, why do you want to bring up the past? Well, it's because we got issues in the past that we've never that we haven't reconciled yet. We can't reconcile in the future unless we address what happened in the past. That's just how these things work. So I understand, you know what I'm saying, like, even though it's a history that we don't really, you know what I'm saying, feel comfortable talking about, that we don't really want to talk about, I think that it's good that we acknowledge, like, okay, like, this is a significant point in history where we freed, you know what I'm saying, all the Black people. That's a significant point in history, and it acknowledges where we came from. And I think that's a good step moving forward. Now, they still got things to do, don't get me wrong. You can't just give people a holiday and say, all right, we did something for y'all. You can't do that. You can't do that. We still got to move forward, but I do think it goes a long way in acknowledging the history.
Not for real. Like, I think it's one of those things where I'm not out here being like, get rid of July 4th or whatever. Like, it's not really an Independence Day. Like you said, I understand that it's a national Independence Day, but like, I think there's an element in which we need to realize that the work that was started on July 4th was completed. Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Was brought to a more realized position in Juneteenth. Right. You know what I'm saying? I think eventually, I do believe this. Maybe I'm a little too optimistic. I do believe that eventually, within a half decade, we will have like reached that point as like a collective society of that's how we view Juneteenth. But I could also be very wrong. It'll be very interesting to see how Juneteenth is a federal holiday, like how, like what kind of weekend or day it's known as, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it could very easily be something big and like have some like grandiose stuff like July 4th, or it could be like, oh, bet I get a day off, like, you know, like Labor Day, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like it means like it has legitimate meaning, but most people just, it's like, oh, I get a day off, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think right now a lot of people are just in the acknowledgement phase where they acknowledge it as a holiday, but they're not really actively celebrating it. But I think hopefully, you know, when we move forward, people will come to, you know, really recognize that it is a significant point in history. You know.
How do you even celebrate Juneteenth? For real. Like,
I say the same way you celebrate 4th of July. I don't know.
No, that's fair.
Like,
I think that's fair. That's very fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you could get some fireworks out there. You know what I'm saying? You can go buy some Juneteenth ice cream.
Buy some Juneteenth. Then you go to Creamalicious, get me some Juneteenth ice cream.
You know what I'm saying? Grill a little bit. You know, invite some people over. If you drink, have some beverages, I suppose. You know. I don't know. You know, I don't think you have to do. You don't have to. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. I think that we can just take the general holiday template and kind of.
That's true.
Move it over.
That's very true. All right, bet. Well, that has been episode 2 of the Jesus Juke. I appreciate everyone that's tuning in, listening. It's a lot of fun, at least for me, to, record these and edit these and stuff, like, gotta have a lot of fun with it, and no small part to my boy Myles. So we gonna be on the road of consistency, I'll be happy when we hit 10 and all those other type of landmarks. So appreciate y'all for rocking with us, at least through these first 2 episodes. So we're gonna catch you on the next one for sure.
Yeah, we catch y'all later. We see you.